What's good, YouTube? It's Vex Reacts, and I'm back with another reaction video. Now, last video I reacted to Michael Knowles for the first time. Today we got why is Tucker Carlson getting backlash for this? Now, I don't know if this is about the recent stuff with him going to Russia and stuff like that. I try to keep up with some of this stuff because I do feel it's important to be, aware. Even if you can't, specifically go and actually grab something and change it, So let's check out what he got to say.
Is in Moscow. That's kind of weird. There was some chatter about this. I didn't mention it on the show yesterday because it was still a little bit unclear. Tucker has now confirmed it. He flew to Moscow to interview Vladimir Putin.
We're in Moscow tonight. We're here to interview the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin. We'll be doing that soon. Almost 3 years ago, the Biden administration illegally spied on our text messages and then leaked the contents to their servants in the news media. They did this in order to stop a Putin interview that we were planning. Last month, we're pretty certain they did exactly the same thing once again. But this time, we came to Moscow anyway. We're not here because...
Wait, they could do that?
But this time, we came to Moscow anyway. We are not here because we love Vladimir Putin. We are here because we love the United States. And we want it to remain prosperous and free.
Okay.
I can't wait to watch it. Tucker is already being preemptively criticized for the interview. Already there are political cartoons about how he's a Putin puppet and a Putin stooge and whatever. But I don't really see why we would preemptively attack him for even conducting the interview.
I know why. People are prejudiced. People love to judge. People love to choose sides. That's just the blatant truth, bro.
Plenty of American journalists have interviewed Vladimir Putin. He's not the first one to do it. Megyn Kelly interviewed Vladimir Putin. Barbara Walters interviewed Vladimir Putin. Plenty of people have done it over the years. Now, in the past, the United States was trying to have some sort of rapprochement with Putin. They were trying to encourage Putin to liberalize. And I guess now we're not doing that. I guess now we're saying Putin is the worst guy ever, and they're calling him Hitler 2.0 and whatever. So I understand why the liberal establishment doesn't want any more interviews with Vladimir Putin, but that's not good enough for me. The liberal establishment's wrong about a ton of stuff. So I'm not going into the interview thinking Tucker did a great job, or just as he says, I love Vladimir Putin, or I don't know if the interview is going to be good or bad. I don't have any particular sympathy for Vladimir Putin.
We just want to hear.
But I do know that the liberal establishment lies to me all the time. So I'll keep an open mind. I'll be listening. Aren't the liberals the ones who always tell us, knowledge is power, man. Keep an open mind, collect all the information. We can't suppress it. But then the moment that you've got a major world leader who's been a world leader for 20 plus years now,
dang,
you can't listen to him? Oh, it seems kind of crazy to me. Yeah. Along with the federal government spying on a journalist's text messages?
How y'all feel about that, bro? If they could do it to a major journalist, they could do it to us. And that's really that's really what scares me about this. And we knew this for a long time ago, bro. The government really be in our business, as regular people. They try to make it seem like they're not because they don't really have no reason to. They only like to utilize that when they really need to. So part of me is scared because why did they do that? Also, how do y'all feel about the actual interview? Will you be listening to it? And what do you plan to, what do you think, how do you think it's gonna go? I think it's going to be very interesting, honestly. I'm ready to actually listen to it and see what, he have to say.
And the current leader of the opposition's text messages, Donald Trump, and then trying to throw him in prison? I don't know. I'm sure Putin has done all sorts of terrible things, just like Xi Jinping has done all sorts of terrible things. But as our government becomes increasingly...
Literally, we do terrible things too. I think a lot of people don't realize that. The United States do horrible things too. We have a history of doing horrible things. Every country got a history of doing some horrible stuff.
Tyrannical and irrational. I'm certainly interested in hearing from non-official, non-liberal establishment approved sources. Right now, go to hallow.com/Knowles and lend the 40 days leading.
Okay. Get your coins. I don't know what this... There we go.
Knowles. I had this question. You've got our political leaders just forcing stuff that nobody really wants down our throats, weakening our country, throwing open our borders, and Americans, a lot of them are going along with it. How did we become so weak? How did we become so servile? And I think Ice Spice actually demonstrates part of the way that happened. She has a new song out.
What?
It's called You Ain't the S-H-I-T parentheses F-A-R-T.
I heard that song.
Miss Spice, take it away.
Think you just what? You're not even the fuck. I'll be going hard.
Now, I know this is about politics, but she do got something back there.
What? You're not even the fuck. I'll be going hard. I'm breaking their hearts. Like what? Be quick, but I'm quicker. Be thick, but I'm thicker. She could be rich, but I'm richer.
Keep going. That's all we. Okay, that's all we need. This reminds me of a line from Plato, as the musings of Ice Spice often do. From I think I forget exactly which book of Plato's Republic. He writes, quote, "Musical training is a more potent instrument than any other, because rhythm and harmony find their way into the inward places of the soul, on which they mightily fasten, imparting grace and making the soul of him who is rightly educated graceful, or of him who is ill-educated ungraceful." Which do you think this does? Alan Bloom, great humanist and a great conservative writer of the 20th century, he, in his book Closing the American Mind, had a chapter on how rock music is really bad for you because it arouses the base passions. And rock music is like Brahms compared to Ice Spice. This is music for animals. The music itself is for animals, just jiggling around, smacking yourself as Ice Spice is doing. But the lyrics...
Dang, I ain't gonna lie. It do low-key... Like, the music that she make do low-key try to bring out the animalistic nature within men. You know, I think she target men. And it also bring out, like, the thought in women. Like, what are you supposed to do to this music? It's not gonna... Like, it don't really uplift you. I mean, it uplifts some cheeks. That's about... like, it uplifts some cheeks. But
also are for animals. The animals... You think you're the S-H-I-T, B-I-T-C-H, but you're not even the F-A-R-T.
I'm breaking it hard.
You think you're rich, but I'm richer. You think you're quick, but I'm quicker. And it goes on. And it's so disgusting and crass and vulgar. I can't get it out of my head. It's so over the top in its vulgarity that I find it funny. And I actually have texted it to a few people because I can't get over it. But it's very depressing because this is popular music. This isn't just some little track that came out from some unheard of musician on the internet somewhere as a joke. This was debuted at some big Spotify event. This
facts, bro. And we have to come to a you know, stance to where we understand that this is entertainment, but what type of entertainment do we need to be consuming if we want to improve? Because we can't be half-assing it. And I'm a victim of that. I'm trying to be better, y'all. I really am. We can't be a victim of, like, picking and choosing what's good and what's not. Or what poison we go take and what poison we not. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't get in the car and say, oh, we not going to pop a perk 30, but we go drink. Like, no. Because then you doing bad even though you're not supposed to do bad. And it's like, I understand what he's saying, bro. I understand what he's saying. Thank you for getting on my ass, man.
This is a woman who's done collaborations with Taylor Swift, other prominent musicians. I'm not as familiar with the Ice Spice oeuvre, but she's a very popular musician. And this is the kind of slop, cultural slop, that goes out there for, I'm sorry to say, we, the increasingly unwashed masses. This is it. And when this is bouncing around your head, well, it's not really bouncing around your head. It's bouncing around your loins. It's bouncing around your lower passions. But what Plato says is true. This surpasses and subverts your reason. So you're not reasoning about this. When you sit and listen to some classical music or Gregorian chant or something, it's much more intellectual, it's much more rational because you're not immediately aroused and bumping and grinding and bouncing and twerking and doing all the stuff that Ice Spice is doing.
Yeah.
But this kind of music, it makes you behave less like a rational soul and more just like an animal, just kind of bouncing around and thinking about bodily functions and fluids and movements. And if we treat ourselves and educate ourselves to be like animals, if this is the kind of stuff that forms our soul, then we're going to be ruled like animals. And we're going to be ruled like a bunch of pigs and cows and sheep, which is increasingly how our political order works.
Facts.
Man, what a great clip that.
Bro, that was actually a good video to watch. It definitely made me think twice about the things that I consume, because what you consume is exactly what you are. I think this is very interesting. Do you think that the government, or really the people in power, are strategically feeding us certain content, strategically putting certain things in front of our face and trying to program us? And if so, what are you doing personally in order to avoid that? Do you think we need less technology? Do you think we just need to change the algorithms? Because in my opinion, I think all of the stuff that we have in place, it is positive and technologically advanced. I think we're just utilizing it in the wrong way. Imagine if they were feeding us great knowledge. Imagine if every time you scroll down your TikTok For You page, which my TikTok For You page is majority just motivation, go hard, it's a lot of Robert Greene, and, I do have those types of things, but I also have the toxic relationship stuff down my timeline. And it's like, I feel like the For You page is for you, and it's a lot of temptation out there. So the way the algorithm works is if you look at it a little too long, you're cooked. How y'all feel about this? Do you think they should only pump us down with positivity and things like that? Or do you think it's okay to have some type of entertainment, Let me know down in the comment section below your stance on this. And also the Tucker Carlson stuff, let me know about that. How do you feel about the interview? Will you be watching? And how do you think that's going to go? Do you think they going to put a sanction on him? I heard they was talking about putting a sanction on him and not letting him back into Europe and all of these different types of things. What do you think the agenda is? Why are they so against him doing his Diddy? You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's just trying to bring awareness and get the other side of the story, because we are, constantly hearing our side. But if you ruled by a people who are, evil, and you never go and see the light, you'll never know that you was in the wrong. I don't know. I feel like Biden is just, he not there, bro. I be watching this man talk and it don't seem like he know how to say a word, like a full conversation. He don't know how to say a full sentence that make actual sense, bro. I think that man just be up there talking, bro. And I don't even know how they just let him do it and nobody say anything about it, bro. We all just out here listening to Ice Spice and living degenerate lives. Or at least some people are, most people are. Let me know down in the comment section how y'all feel. Without further ado, I'm out. Peace and love always. I hope y'all have a great day. Remember not to let none of this stuff, bog you down. Don't ever feel like you're, hopeless. Because at the end of the day, you have a degree of control. Without further ado, I'm out. Peace and love always.